Today we've got a fun new design for the new year using a familiar favorite flower. This is Alstroemeria. Incredibly long-lasting, something you often see at the grocery store, at any florist. It will definitely be in coolers all over the place. It's great because it lasts for just as long as carnations, but yet it has this more delicate feel to it. So I wanted to put it together in a new design that shows it off in a different way. So what we're going to do is actually make a topiary out of this. Alstroemeria is so well suited to this because of the fact that one stem has multiple flowers at the top of it. So what I'm doing is I'm taking them, laying them together in my hands so that their heads, all the flowers, are kind of in the same height. And then I'm going to take all these leaves and pull them off the stem and just discard. There's really not too much that we can do with those after. And this really helps make the topiary look convincing. If we were to leave the leaves on, it would look a little messy. So we've got that cleaned off, and then what we're going to do is what we call a French twist. That's how we're going to actually bind this together. It's a really popular look on bridal bouquets. So I'm going to lay them down on my table here, and I'm going to take a length of ribbon, and we're actually going to start at the bottom. Think about how tall you want your topiary to be. My pot is not real big, so I'm not going to go super tall on here. And I'm going to lay the ribbon underneath and find the halfway point. And then I'm just going to make a twist where I'm putting one end over the other. Going to come back up and do the same thing on the back side. It's one of those practice makes perfect things. At first you feel a little clumsy with your fingers doing it, but all you're doing is essentially just twisting back and forth as we go up the stem. And it makes just a very pretty detail on the stem of this, and a great way to add a little additional color too by the color of the ribbon. In this case I'm using a yellow satin, but you can certainly use anything you would have on hand that works well with the colors you're working with. So now when I get up to my top here, I'm just going to tie a very simple bow. And that's going to hold everything together. You can see how this look is something you've probably seen on bridal bouquets in the past. So then what we're going to do is take our topiary, now that we've got this all bound together. I've got a pot here that I've got some floral foam in that I've already soaked, so that's all hydrated. I didn't push it down in. You got to let the water soak in gradually to make sure you don't get any air bubbles in it. And then we're just going to take this little topiary, kind of line it up to the height we want, cut all the stems at the same point, and then just simply push it right into the middle. Very easy. Hopefully our bow wants to sit straight. And then we've got obviously to hide our mechanics at the top here, so we are just going to take a little bit of green moss. This is sheet moss, but you could use other greenery. You could really use any river rock would work too to kind of hide that. And then I've even got a little bit of this really pretty chartreuse green reindeer moss for a little contrast. And that's it. Super simple, sweet, springy topiary, and that will probably last you 2 weeks or more if well watered.